Hi, smart sleepers. Happy Sleep Tip Tuesday. If you're like many of my clients, you probably wake up in the night with your mind racing. Kind of think of it like the Roadrunner sprinting from Wile E. Coyote in that old cartoon. Now, some of you may have this problem at bedtime, which definitely means you're stressed to the max. I find that if you have a hard time falling asleep, that's usually from psychological stress. But it is possible to quiet your mind so you don't wake up in a panic about your to do list the next day in the middle of the night. So, I have 5 tips for you today that can help to quiet that monkey mind, that racing mind that so many of us get. Now, my first tip is actually what you can do during the day. I suggest taking some breaks. I call them recovery breaks. So managing your stress like this during the day is going to help your cortisol levels be able to lower at night so that you can sleep well. Now, this even helps with productivity. Productivity experts recommend blocking your time so you're completing tasks in an hour increments. That's because that's about how long our brains can focus on something without needing a break. So I suggest focusing for that hour or 55 minutes, then taking at least a 5-minute break. Now, during this break, I suggest stepping away from your computer, stepping away from your phone, going to get water, going to the bathroom, not scrolling through social media, but doing something more relaxing. Thinking, standing outside, going for a walk if you have time during one of those breaks is great too. So, again, anything we can do to lower cortisol levels during the day is also going to help them lower at bedtime when it's time to go to sleep. Now, another piece of advice that I always read about, and I need to start implementing it myself more regularly, but that's to take 5 minutes at the end of your workday to reflect on your day and plan the next day. So instead of working until the last second and shutting your computer down because you have to run out the door, which is what I tend to do too, spend a few minutes preparing for the next day. That's going to create closure for your day. That's going to help you relax and know that you're prepared for tomorrow and your workday is over so you can transition out of work to playtime, family time, whatever that is. Now, my second suggestion is to wind down before bed. So this is why there's so many recommendations for a bedtime routine. And you want it to be relaxing, but we can't expect to go all day long and then fall into bed and sleep peacefully. So you really need to take some time to let your brain and body relax for a bit. Now, ideally, you're staying away from screens before bed because they do emit blue light, which suppresses melatonin and makes it hard for you to sleep. But I get it. I like to watch Netflix too. So if you can at least wear blue light blocking glasses if you're on screens, and then still give yourself at least 30 minutes before bed to wind down without screens. So that can be reading, listening to an audiobook, taking a bath. I like to stretch and then read, do a crossword puzzle, meditate, or journal. Any of these relaxing activities are going to help prepare you for sleep. Lower those cortisol levels so that you're not waking up in the night with your thoughts racing. Now, another tip I have is meditation. And it's a wonderful way to prepare for sleep because the physiological changes that happen in your body when you meditate are the same as when you're going to sleep. So your blood pressure's lowering, your heart rate's lowering, your stress hormones like cortisol lower, and your body temperature drops. So all of these changes prepare your body for rest and relaxation. Now, I know many people feel like they're failing at meditation because you can't stop your thoughts, but that's actually not the point. I think of it as I'm letting all those thoughts go. I'm not following them, but I'm just letting them all go and almost letting them out. And then after about 10 or 15 minutes, I get to this peaceful place of relaxation where my thoughts are slowing down. And that's made a huge difference in my sleep. Quick little tidbit though, if you're new to meditation, I don't suggest starting it before bedtime because anything new can cause some anxiety and stress, and so that's not going to help you sleep. So I suggest doing it for a couple weeks in the middle of the day until you feel comfortable with it, and then moving it in time into your bedtime routine. Now, my fourth tip is journaling. So there's something about writing down what's in your head and getting it on paper is going to help get it out of your head. So you're less likely to wake up with those racing thoughts because you're not as worried about things. So you could try just free writing for 5 minutes every night to start. And also, writing down what you're grateful for really puts you in a relaxed state and a positive mindset. So then you're less likely to wake up worried at night. Now, my fifth tip is to get out of bed. If you wake up in the night, or if you're trying to fall asleep at bedtime and your brain is just racing, I suggest getting out of bed, leaving your bedroom, going and doing something relaxing, like reading is my go-to for sure, until you feel sleepy again, and then go back to bed. Because if you continue to lie in bed, you're just going to get anxious. Those thoughts are just going to keep going, and you're going to become stressed. Your body's going to release cortisol, and it's going to be really hard to go back to sleep at that point. So I know it's hard to get out of bed when you can't sleep, but you're actually going to fall asleep faster and have less anxiety if you do it, and then go back to bed when you're sleepy. Now, if you want to find out more why you should get out of bed and some more tips about that, I have a free ebook, The 5 Mistakes Busy Professionals Make When They Can't Sleep and What to Do Instead. And you're welcome to grab that from my website, thecompletesleepsolution.com, or just message me and I'm happy to send it to you. Now, the truth is there could be other reasons why you're waking up at night. Again, usually when you wake up in the middle of the night, I find it's from something going on in your body that's causing cortisol to be released at night when it shouldn't be. So even if it's not from too much stress, if your body's releasing cortisol at the night because, say, you have inflammation or your blood sugar levels drop too low, then when it releases cortisol, it's going to create that anxious, panicked, alert, wide awake state. And so that's why your thoughts can be racing. So yes, doing what you can during the day and before bed to make that less likely is key. But if you're doing all those things and you still are waking up in the night at that 3 or 4 a.m. time, there's something going on in your body that's keeping you from sleeping at that time. And if you want to know more about that, please stay tuned. That's what I talk about all the time in this group. Or I'm happy to chat as well. So I hate to hear when people can't sleep, and I know how frustrating it is. So if you want to book a call with me, we'll talk about what's keeping you from sleeping and come up with a plan to fix it so that you can get the sleep you need. Thanks for listening, and I will see you in the group.